Hello party people, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori. Thank you so much for being here today. For today's video, I thought we would talk about some spring and summer trends, more specifically the trends that I don't think I'll be partaking in this year. This is quite a list. There are some things on here that I'm just not buying into because I already have things, or I have things that evoke this trend. Some of these trends I actually just don't like, period. And then there are others that I can admire from afar, but just realize that that's not for me. I honestly believe that when it comes to your own personal style, it's really good to identify both things you really like and things you hate, because I think it helps you kind of streamline your own taste. It helps you get more in tune with your taste, and it makes you just kind of think a little bit more about the things you are acquiring and bringing into your space, into your closet, into your life in general. Lately, a question I've been asking myself is, do I actually like this trend or product, item, whatever, or am I just seeing it very frequently? Okay, the answer being the latter will surprise you much more than you think. So I hope this video inspires you to kind of hone in on what you actually like. If you like any of the things that I'm talking about, that is great. You do not have to take my word for gospel. In fact, I would encourage you not to, just because I feel like it would be boring if all of us had the same taste. So without further ado, let's hop into it. The first trend that I will not be buying this spring and summer is the aviator sunglasses. I have definitely partaken in this trend many different times. I remember buying a pair of Ray-Ban aviators back when I was in like middle school, early high school. And then I also tried to participate in this trend a couple of years ago, back when Lexola was the it eyewear brand of the moment. And now I'm kind of seeing this current iteration, it's a lot of like the big chunky acetate frames. Maybe they come in a little bit of a tortoise look, and all of these lenses usually are like in really fun colors. I'm not partaking in this trend just because I feel like I already have sunglasses that kind of give off a similar vibe to these aviator sunglasses. I have this pair from Lexola that I bought a couple of years ago now that I wore literally every day for like maybe a year. The second trend I will not be buying is ballet flats. I know I've talked about this trend a lot, but I just wanted to like double down, maybe even like triple down on why I'm not buying this trend. I wanted to mention it because I feel like for this spring and summer, we're seeing a lot more studded ballet flats and a lot of ballet flats in that mesh material. And honestly, when I see these mesh ballet flats, I just think of like the $2 flats you can get at like any Asian market. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, because people in my household wear those. I also feel like the ballet flat is always trying to entice people who maybe like have sworn off of it by coming out in different materials and stuff. So this is me reminding you, you don't have to buy the latest iteration of ballet flats. There are a few reasons why I'm not going to be partaking in the ballet flat trend. The first is that I just feel like they're not practical for me. I'm someone who likes to walk a lot, and to me the ballet flat kind of feels like a shoe that looks great when it's as pristine as possible. I feel that's also such a great thing to keep in mind when you are looking for new trends to try, is whether or not it actually fits into your actual lifestyle and not the fantastical or ideal lifestyle that you have in your brain. Like, would this trend actually make sense for what you do on a day-to-day? And the ballet flat just like does not make sense for me. And then the other reason is that I know that ballet flats make your feet smell, and I'm not trying to be a stinky girl, okay? I moved home to live with my parents, and like literally I know that my social skills have like plummeted since moving. So I'm not going to combine sucky social skills and gross feet. The third thing I will not be doing this year or partaking in is what I'm calling dupes for dupes sake. Now let me get one thing clear. I'm not trying to be classist, and I'm also someone who has bought dupes before. Dupe culture has kind of gotten out of control a little bit. I think we've lost the plot a little bit. I know Mina Lay just did an amazing video about dupes, and I don't feel like I'm saying anything new, but I feel like I just want to be more mindful of the kind of dupes or the kind of products in general I'm bringing into my closet. The reason why dupes are on this list is because I feel like a lot of people now, or like the trend of dupes, is no longer about actually finding a similar item in a more affordable price range for yourself, but instead it feels more like a competition to say, I found all of these amazing dupes at H&M or at these fast fashion stores, and now you need to go get them. Like, I feel like it's just creating this competitive edge to shopping that we really don't need. I feel like we were really getting somewhere with people being a little bit more mindful about like the things they were buying, and now we're kind of like reverting back and people are trying to compete and get like the best dupes, the cheapest dupes, the whatever to whatever. I'm personally someone who I like to buy dupes when it's like actually things I could never afford. Like I have a similar pair of earrings to the Bottega earrings. I'm not someone who can like buy Bottega. I don't know. I feel like it's also just like circumstantial to who you are as a person. So like I'm 27 now, I make my own money and I only have to buy things for myself. I only have to support myself. So I think for me right now, it's like, oh, like if I can save for the Gani top and I know I'm gonna wear it a lot, I'm gonna save, you know, the $200 that blouse costs instead of buying the $17 version from H&M. Obviously there are exceptions. I have a Gani dupe sweater from Target, but to me that made more sense because I felt the product in the store and it felt soft and it felt nice. I also live somewhere where I can't wear sweaters a lot of the time. It felt budget enough for like the time and place and just the circumstances. So I don't know. I feel like dupes, use your own discretion. I also feel like with dupes sometimes, especially if you really like the piece that you're coveting, it's like, it feels nicer and feels more rewarding to actually save for the product than it does to buy the dupe. I don't know. The fourth trend I will not be participating in this spring and summer is pops of red and now more recently pops of blue. The thing about this trend is that there's a very low barrier to entry, right? Like when we say pops of color in outfits, that could be socks, tights, a bag, jewelry, a t-shirt, a scarf. It could literally be anything, and those pieces, I guess like depending on where you're buying from, can be seen as a relatively low cost item. But for me personally, I feel like going with what the trending color is really like robs you of trying to be an individual, of trying to find your own color. I'm personally someone who I love a pop of color, but I'm more of a Kelly green girl. And so I would just say if you want to participate in the pop of color trend, find a pop of color that works for you. I also feel like it's so interesting now how cobalt blue is like this big trending color because we saw Burberry bring it out to the Met Gala last year. I remember them dressing Stormzy and Jodie Comer in this blue, and I was like, that's so crazy how it wasn't really making a splash and people weren't really talking about it then, but now everyone seems to be on the hunt for this blue. You know, not to be like the cerulean monologue in The Devil Wears Prada, but I mean like, watch how it all trickles down. Red trending kind of makes sense because we saw like it was Tomato Girl summer last year, so now everyone already kind of had those like red pieces and they were trying to figure out ways to style it for like multiple seasons, which is interesting. But I also find it interesting that red and blue are trending the year of a election in America. Like, not to be like putting my tin foil cap on, but the next trend I will not be purchasing or partaking in this year is technically two things, and those things are overalls and denim dresses. I definitely rocked overalls as a child, but also like back when I was like in high school, just starting to figure out my personal style. And I've definitely rocked a denim shift dress once or twice in my life. However, I just feel like the current iterations of these trends are just not for me. When I think of like overalls, I think of like the ones from Free People with like the parachute pant-esque look. And then with the denim dress, I just kind of think of the specific one. I'll like leave it up on the screen. But I think the denim overalls just don't really align with like my personal taste and my personal vibe, and that's totally okay. The girlies who are wearing these overalls are like the girlies who really give off like the Donna in Mamma Mia vibes, and that's just not me. And then when it comes to this denim dress, I love it. It's giving Cowboy Carter, it's giving Casey Musgraves. As for the denim dress, I really just feel like it doesn't align with my closet. I feel like one thing I'm trying to work on this year is just making sure I'm buying pieces that are like ready to wear. Like I don't have to buy other items to complete an outfit, if that makes sense. Like when I buy something, it can already go with multiple things in my closet. And I feel like this denim dress does it. If you love it, if you can rock it, more power to you, but it's just not for me. The next trend I will not be buying this year are cutesy trucker hats. Now you might ask yourself, Tori, don't you own a couple trucker hats? I do, and they're all artist merch, but I do own trucker hats. And I think that the reason why I'm not participating in this trend is just because one, I already have the ones that I like. And then two, I feel like the current trucker hat slash baseball cap trend is kind of giving me like sneaker trend vibes in the way that like I feel like a certain group of tastemakers are always just constantly moving the bar and moving the needle depending on where their tastes are. Like for example, like they're like, oh, this one company or this one specific type of trucker hat is really cool, so everyone's flocking and trying to get it and it's sold out and whatever. And then once enough people have bought that one specific kind of trucker hat, they all move on and they're like, actually, we're over ironic sayings on our trucker hats. We want it to be more like motifs that look like vintage brands, so and so. So they're always constantly moving the bar, so it's kind of unattainable and it causes people to go shopping a lot. So I feel like I just don't want to be in the constant race to try and find the latest and coolest trucker hat, the funniest saying, like whatever. I love a hat, but I will not be buying any new ones. This year, I really just want to wear the ones that I already have. The seventh trend I will not buy this year is expensive loungewear. And this was kind of inspired because I've just seen so much SpawnCon on all of my feeds for a specific Aritzia two-piece. I can't even name it for you, but I know I've seen it everywhere and I can like visualize it in my brain. I feel like there's always a time and a place to buy like a really nice loungewear set. There's always a time and place to buy a really nice activewear set, but I'm not actively looking to expand my collection in that way. So I'm just kind of like verbally saying, I don't need it. I don't need it. It's kind of like the same thing as activewear. Like I think when people buy a matching set, they start projecting all of these hopes and dreams onto purchasing this set. They're like, okay, once I buy this really beautiful loungewear set, like I'll be more productive, I'll get more sleep, I'll eat healthier, I'll be a better person. And it's like buying a really nice lounge set is actually not going to change your life. It's not going to make you a better person. It's only going to take that money from your bank account. And listen, I fell for it. I fell for this in 2020 at the height of lockdown. I bought myself some nice loungewear sets. And you know what, now I don't even leave the house in these sets because the crotch is dragging or I've gotten one too many stains on it or something like that. So I kind of just know myself now and I know my spending habits, and my loungewear, I don't need to be girl bossing it right now. I don't need to be overhauling my loungewear right now. So I will not be buying any expensive loungewear this spring or summer. Similarly to the expensive loungewear, the next trend that I will not be partaking in is the designer woven bag. There is no reason why I should be spending upwards of $400 on a beach bag. And I think I've just added this to this video so I would just verbalize that to myself and also to you, because there are some times when I'm scrolling on Essence and I'm like, wait, like maybe I do need that Loewe like straw bag. Like that would be so cute. You don't. I don't. Maybe I need a beach bag, but I don't need the most expensive one that just basically is a straw bag with a Loewe label shellacked onto it. I don't need it. Who do I think I am? I'm not in that tax bracket yet, so we will save that for a later date. But this is me saying you don't need the expensive beach bag in order to have a great summer. Finally, this last trend, technically I will be buying something from it, but only the specific item that I want. This trend is what I'm calling the food of the month print. Lisa Says Guy is probably like the one brand that like pops into my head when I think of this. And you know, they've started a movement. I've seen the dupes at Urban Outfitters, you know what I mean? This is one of those trends that I love and that I want, but sometimes you can't always have what you want. You can't get everything that you want. And sometimes you just have to like appreciate a trend you love from afar. This feels like one of those things that companies push on you because they want you to romanticize your summer. They're like, for that 1 week that you'll be in Rome and you're eating your weight in pasta and not having a care in the world, wear our pasta dress. And then I also wrote this on here because there's only one piece in this like overarching trend that I really want, and it's currently sold out. It's this Stod sardine bag. And I want it so bad. If and when I buy that, that'll be the only thing I buy from this trend. This trend, I love it. I wish I could be a girly who could just have a million Lisa Says God pieces racking up in my closet, but I'm not. And that's sad, but that's just my reality. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below which items you won't be wearing this spring and summer. Bonus points if they are actually things I would wear, because I love when we have a little discussion in the comments If you want to see a more positive version of this video and see what I will be rocking this spring and summer, let me know down below as well. If you want to see more of me, feel free to follow me over on TikTok or Instagram. And that's it. I'll see you for the next one. Bye.